8 months. That's how long Caitlin Clark had been away from competitive basketball, sidelined by a series of injuries that would have ended the seasons of most athletes indefinitely. Since that July 15th setback, she had missed 11 games, with 11 more regular season matchups still on the horizon. Yet Clark didn't announce her return quietly. She made a statement. In a single 32-second Capital One commercial, she walked onto a set with Samuel L. Jackson, Charles Barkley, and Magic Johnson, three of basketball's most legendary figures, and immediately stole the spotlight. Burgers, ice cream scoops, and donuts flew with precision from her hands, landing perfectly and eliciting uncontrollable laughter from the icons themselves. It wasn't simply comedy. It was a declaration. Clark had transitioned from athlete to cultural force, embodying the future of women's basketball in a single scene. Capital One's March Madness campaigns aren't mere commercials. They are institutions, events that transcend advertising. Anchored by Jackson for over a decade and featuring Barkley, Johnson, and previously Spike Lee and Jennifer Garner, the series has always been a platform for cultural icons. This year, Will Forte joined as Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, merging historical reverence with modern spectacle. The 2026 campaign, The Road Trip, spans linear TV, streaming, digital display, in-stadium signage, and even wrapped buses, with the Chuck blimp flying over Phoenix and Indianapolis during the Final Four. Clark's inclusion was deliberate. She wasn't invited because of an agent's call, but because her presence alone carries weight. To be cast alongside these legends signals recognition of influence, charisma, and market-moving power. One outlet even described Clark's appearance as her induction into Olympus, a rare honor reserved for generational talent whose cultural resonance matches her athletic excellence. This commercial, brief as it is, reflects the enormous confidence the brand has in her trajectory and signals the arrival of a new era in women's basketball, where Clark's persona and skill simultaneously drive cultural conversation, fan engagement, and league transformation. Stepping onto that set was no small feat. Clark had never met Jackson, Barkley, or Johnson, had been out of competitive play for months, and was days away from Team USA training camp in Miami. This wasn't a photo opportunity. It was a performance that demanded timing, confidence, and authenticity. In the 51-second behind-the-scenes clip, the magic unfolds instantly. Magic Johnson nods, acknowledging her as a triple threat. Barkley approaches warmly, finally meeting the player he had defended publicly for years. Jackson greets her with a hug, instantly signaling trust and inclusion. Clark doesn't merely participate. She commands the energy of the room, relaxed, cracking jokes, and converting accidental mishaps into comedic triumphs. Magic Johnson lauds her personality and engagement, a rare compliment from someone who has shared rooms with the greatest athletes and entertainers for 4 decades. In the commercial, titled Reigning 3%, Clark becomes the agent of chaos. Burgers, ice cream scoops, and donuts fly across the set, perfectly timed, while the legends react with astonishment and laughter. The power dynamic flips. Clark leads the gag, the icons respond. At 24, after months away from competitive play, she demonstrates instinct, humor, and charisma that transcend the court. The behind-the-scenes footage reveals the essence of why she was chosen: genuine chemistry, trust, and undeniable presence. Clark isn't just an athlete or a commercial face. She is a performer, an equal among legends, and a market-moving talent whose arrival signals generational significance. Her inclusion illustrates that superstardom is about influence, energy, and the ability to elevate every environment she enters. It's a masterclass in timing, presence, and cultural resonance, captured in under a minute of footage yet resonating across millions of viewers. Clark's influence extends far beyond the commercial set. Her economic and cultural impact on professional basketball has been seismic. Before her entry into the WNBA, the league had struggled to break viewership plateaus, with no game averaging over 1 million viewers since 2008. In her rookie season, 23 games surpassed that threshold, including a record-setting debut against the Connecticut Sun and a matchup against the New York Liberty that shattered ABC viewership records. Across 6 networks, The games she participated in set all-time records, and the Indiana Fever saw jersey sales soar by 1,200%. Ticket sales jumped 265%, prompting teams to move home games to larger NBA arenas to accommodate demand. Social media engagement reached 800 million views between the draft and the All-Star game, unmatched by any professional team except Inter Miami with Lionel Messi. Finance experts calculated Clark accounted for roughly 26% of all WNBA economic activity during her rookie season, highlighting a staggering discrepancy between her modest rookie salary of $76,000 and her market value, estimated at $875 million factoring in endorsements. Her impact forced collective bargaining negotiations that reshaped league economics, proving that Clark doesn't just change games on the court. She transforms the financial and cultural infrastructure of the league. She is a rare combination of athlete, brand, and cultural inflection point, driving metrics and shaping narratives that ensure the WNBA is no longer a niche story, but a mainstream phenomenon. Returning from injuries, Clark continued to assert dominance on the international stage. She led Team USA to a perfect 5-0 record in the FIA World Cup qualifying tournament, earning MVP honors with 58 points, 32 assists, and top efficiency across all competitors, averaging 11.6 points, 6 for assists, and shooting 53% overall, including 40% from three-point range. Clark's performance was historic. Named to the tournament's All-Star 5 alongside Kelsey Plum, she demonstrated that her absence had done nothing to diminish her prowess. Her first WNBA game post-injury saw 17 points and 12 assists, the second most assists in FIA qualifying history. Yet her achievements aren't confined to statistics, they extend into cultural influence. Clark walked onto a commercial set with some of the most famous athletes and entertainers, controlled the comedic space, and elicited laughter and awe from seasoned professionals. Superstardom, after all, is defined by the ability to make audiences care about something they weren't watching before. Michael Jordan elevated sneaker culture. Serena Williams changed tennis viewership. Tiger Woods transformed golf. Clark is doing the same for women's basketball, turning fans, networks, sponsors, and social media metrics into a rising tide that lifts the entire league. She combines elite athletic skill with approachability, charisma, and stage presence, crafting a narrative that resonates both on and off the court. The Capital One ad captures her comedic timing. The behind-the-scenes footage reveals the magnetic personality that makes her indispensable, a peer to legends, and a star whose influence cannot be ignored. At 24, Caitlin Clark embodies the rare synthesis of skill, marketability, and cultural resonance that defines true superstardom. She is competitive, approachable, and magnetic, capable of elevating every environment she enters. Metrics confirm her impact. The 2024 National Championship drew 18.9 million viewers, the most watched men's or women's college game since 2019. The WNBA draft hit 2.45 million viewers, a 374% increase. The All-Star game shattered records with 3.44 million viewers. She returned from injury to dominate internationally, leading in points, assists, and efficiency, then stepped onto a commercial set to command attention from three of basketball's most iconic figures, generating laughter and awe. Clark doesn't simply fill stat sheets. She drives culture, commerce, and fandom. Comparisons to Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, and Magic Johnson are not hyperbolic. They signify generational impact. She has faced injuries, scrutiny, and expectation, yet continues to redefine women's basketball. The World Cup looms. The WNBA season is on the rise, and questions about how far she can elevate the sport are everywhere. One thing is certain: Caitlin Clark is no longer just a rising star. She is a transformative force, a cultural and economic catalyst, and the world is watching as she reshapes what it means to be a superstar, not just in sports, but in the cultural landscape of basketball and beyond. Her story is far from over. In fact, it is only beginning.